right, welcome to Les Pod. I am your host, Amanda Costner, and we are recapping episode 3 of the Netflix series First Kill. With me today is avid content consumer and board game queen, Nika. Also with us today is fellow board game queen and also my queen, my wife, Ro.
Hey.
Nika and Ro, how are you two liking this season so far? I know we've all only watched up to episode 3, but how do you find it so far?
Cringy.
Oh my god.
I went into the show really wanting to like it, but every time these characters do something, I'm like, oh, please stop. Please, somebody like cancel the show. Don't let it go on.
I disagree.
Question,
I was just gonna say I disagree. I've been enjoying the show a lot, actually.
Question, Nika, do you ever watch like Lifetime or like CW shows or like Hallmark movies?
So occasionally, I know I loved my introduction. Content consumer. So definitely when I was younger, I consumed a lot of Lifetime movies. They were my guilty pleasure. And I have consumed a lot of CW shows. I would liken this show very much to the cheesy Lifetime movies. But unfortunately, I feel like the CW shows are better. And I think that's why I find it so cringy because for being a Netflix show, I just expected more.
See, I'm with Ro in that I think that it is in the vein of CW. That's what I think most people are coming to the conclusion of, that it's like, oh, shouldn't this be on the CW? Like, did you watch, like, when was the last time you saw a CW show? Because I am not seeing this higher quality CW content out there.
Well, okay, so the last CW show I consumed was Superman and Lois Lane. To me, what makes this show worse is the music is just like not great. I don't know how to describe it. I'm not a music connoisseur, but I don't know who created this soundtrack.
Not a big Carrie Underwood fan? Not a big fan of the
No, you know what? Every time that comes out, her like bloodlust soundtrack, my cat is like, what's going on? When you just started making that sound, Misa was grooming herself in the corner, and her head just like popped up like, what was that?
Ro, how are you finding it since you said you were enjoying it? Well, like, what do you think of the music? Do you agree, disagree?
Yeah,
where are you at?
I don't mind I don't find the music as like revolting as Nika. Yeah, I like it is quite cheesy, but like I like that, and I think I generally speaking like shows that are like kind of cheesy and campy and things like that. So I feel like this show is like kind of leaning into that and like leaning into like the vampire stereotypes and things, and like and the music is a bit cheesy, but like I guess I just enjoy it, and it doesn't bother me that much, and there's like also a little bit of like teenage angst vibe, and I guess I like shows like that as well.
Yeah,
so
the music definitely emphasizes the teenage angst.
Okay, I think what we're figuring out is Nika's not the target audience for this show. Cause yeah, this is camp. But I really enjoyed this episode because it filled in a lot of blanks that I had from episode 1 and 2. I feel like I'm finally understanding this world. It's making everything more grounded, which therefore raises the stakes of all the plot lines because I'm like getting it.
I would completely agree with that. The first 2 episodes were frustrating to me. I know that's the whole, stick of a show, that they want to draw out the mystery, but I was like, you need to give me something because I'm going into this world not understanding what a legacy vampire is, not understanding the importance of this ceremony. So I really liked that we finally got those details filled in this episode. I like took notes while watching this episode, and they had like mentioned Oliver a few times, and I was like, who the hell is Oliver? Like I even wrote that down in my
Yeah.
note, like, who's this mystery twin? What did he do? Well, we still don't know what he did, but like he finally showed up. I was
they're like really dragging the Oliver thing out. Like he
Yeah,
better have
they're
done
really
some
milking
messed
it.
up
Yeah.
crap.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just jump in here. First fight is the name of the episode. It isn't really a big fight that we get though. We get the Oliver and Eleanor fight, but we don't see much other fighting here.
Can I also say what I don't like about this show? The fight scene. Yeah, I'm so sorry.
No, that's what you're here for. Hit us with your opinion.
Choreography, like the fight choreography, is like very bad.
This episode wasn't great.
No, like I'm specifically thinking of the Oliver and what's Juliet's sister's
Eleanor.
name? Yeah, Oliver and Eleanor's fight where she like does a jump and like punches him in the face, but like you can see it doesn't quite land, and then she like gets on top of him and then like elbows him. I'm like, who's designing this fight scene? Like, Netflix, do better, please.
I feel you. Well, we start the episode off. Let's go back a little bit. We started off inside Lil Nas X's Montero music video. I loved this though. I didn't care. I thought it was really cool looking.
Oh, is that what that scene was based on?
No, I'm just It just looks similar to the Montero video.
Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying.
No, they're basing it on Adam and Eve and like magic.
Yeah, that like dreamscape or dream sequence.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was like pretty. I thought it was like a kind of a hot sequence, like and I couldn't tell if it was real or not, like if it was just a dream or if like the vampire was like somehow really in her dreams or they're carrying a dream or something.
It's because of the vampire blood. Or the vampire bite.
Yeah, right. Okay,
I'm still a little confused on that. So like the vampire bite ties them together, but in the
it's like an inception, right? It's like an inception.
Yeah, I got that, but what I wanted clarification on, and maybe you can give that to me, the last episode where Cal gets paralyzed, was that because she like got touched by a legacy blood, or
the blood like touched her skin?
Okay.
Yeah.
And now we learn it's also like vampire chlamydia because it makes you itch.
Yeah. Or I don't know, like or maybe like vampire, like what's that leaf that makes you itch?
Poison ivy.
Poison ivy. Yeah, maybe like vampire poison ivy.
Yeah. So we get back to the Monster Hunter headquarters. That's my dog. Shout out Houston. We get back to headquarters and they're just training. And I was like, am I crazy or did they make the end of episode 2 seem like they were about to rampage?
Yeah, well, they just end every episode with a cliffhanger. So it was just like a false alarm, and they're still.
But the episode 1 cliffhanger didn't. They took us to where we thought they were going to take us.
Yeah, I think the episode 2 cliffhanger was just like, we're gonna gather all our forces and we're gonna, come out super strong, and then they came out just to train, and we didn't get the exciting fight scene that we wanted because they have to.
But we did get
Cal.
We did get Cal fighting her ex-girlfriend, and I thought that was amazing training, ladies. Good job with that.
Yeah, that fight scene I wasn't bothered by. I thought they did a really good job. What?
Nothing. We get the dress rehearsal
because
for
of the fighting choreography.
It was the fighting choreography.
Only great. That, yeah, right. Wow. Yeah. Nothing else.
100%. Nothing else.
It wasn't the two ladies fighting at all.
So what did y'all think of the dress try-on sesh with all the old-timey slash also modern-looking to me dresses? We
So
got
I put a note in my phone. Yes, obligatory obligatory fashion show.
yes.
Yeah.
I thought it was
Every
every teen show must have one. They hit
Yeah.
that check mark. Um I thought it was cute though. I thought it was fun that they tried on outfits from different eras. Um and then we finally got introduced to the grandmother, right? And
yes, what do y'all think of her?
I thought she was kind of interesting, a
Yeah.
little
She's fabulous.
intimidating. But I thought she was they definitely set her up to be like not what's the word I'm looking for? Like elitist. Like we find out that Juliet's father is not a legacy vampire
Yeah.
and her entire family has turned their nose up against that and they kind of shun this part of the
Yeah,
family.
Margot's the black sheep of the family.
And so,
Yeah.
oh, sorry,
Oh,
continue.
well, I love when she was like, "Yes, we're a matriarchal
Yes, I
society."
love
Yeah.
I
that
was like,
too.
that was pretty badass. Yeah, but she is kind of like a villain though. Yeah, in the
Could
end,
she
it
Yeah,
be
seems like.
more villainy? Like, could she
Yeah.
up the villainesque?
yeah, I was gonna say, like, I felt like we were supposed to fear her, but she didn't do anything that was, like outright villainy, as you put it. It was just more like the feeling that she gave us. So I'm hoping in later episodes we really see why she's somebody to be like feared and somebody in such high power aside from just being a family that like carries this blood through their veins, the like the ancestry of Lilith or whatever they were going
Yeah.
after.
She's also kind of
Um,
a gilf.
I mean, okay,
my
so
wife.
skipping forward a little bit, when they were doing that one scene where they like lifted up the snake during the ceremony and you could see like the definition in her arms, I was like, yes, I hope at that age I look that good.
Yeah, as my wife said, yeah, quite bangable. Absolute, with all absolute respect, quite bangable. Okay, Ben and Juliet fight. Her best friend. He says he
Yeah.
hates her. God, I do not miss high school.
Okay, so I thought that entire game that they've come up with super dumb.
Yeah.
I admit and forget, and then you say what you're upset about, and then you go, "Yeah, or no, you say something." So he goes, "Admit and forget. Your parents are having a party, and I didn't get invited." Blah, blah, blah. Admit, and then he forgives. Bitch, like, oh, I don't know if I can swear, but I'm gonna
You
swear.
could totally swear. Yes.
Great. What really annoyed me was, look, she can't decide who gets invited to what party. Like, why are you upset about something so unimportant? Like, get over yourself.
I suspect they just wanted Juliet and Ben to have a fight.
Yes, and it seemed very forced. There's so many other
Yeah.
reasons you could have come up with to fight each other. Maybe, she forgot something important, she was neglecting him, like build up to it, not just this
Yeah.
like silly unimportant teenage spat.
I
I
think
would
that's
never
what they
be
were
upset. I think that's what they were going for, but I
not
feel like
executed.
you're not hitting the actual like cadence of teenage arguments. You're not going to be mad at somebody because their parents are doing something and didn't invite you to it.
Yeah.
Totally
It was like
true.
a little bit forced, or it was like a little bit of a stretch. I agree. Like,
And as the most recent teenager in this recap, I have to give it to Nika on that.
oh, as the youngest, yeah.
Yeah, as the youngest, I feel like I have say on how teenagers fight, even though it's been like 10 years since I've been a teenager.
Okay, so the plot line of the monster fighting side of this episode is basically, is Cal ready to fight or not? I couldn't believe her ex betrayed her. I've never felt more both sides than watching that part of the episode.
Sorry, so I was annoyed that her mother wasn't super like pro her going out and fighting, because we kind of have like this matriarchal vampire society, and I feel like it would have been really cool of the show to go, yes, that's how our hunters are. So when her mother was getting upset that, you know, like she's not ready, there was some mystery like incident when she was 15 and she's still super worried. Like, I get it, she's a mother, but I would have loved to see her go, yeah, my sons got their first kill when they were super young. Like, or not Julia, Cal is ready. She's strong. She found this legacy vampire family. And the fact that she had that hesitation over the dinner scene was frustrating to me. But then also what I got a little annoyed about was it felt like instantly she turned around and she was like, yeah, Cal is gonna go out and fight. There was no build up to that. There was no side conversation that we at least saw.
I think what they were trying to do is, I think they were trying, like you said, to build the tension, because like this really is it for the monster hunters. Like, it's all Cal, whether Cal should go with them, learning that Cal has had reservations, and it's all just this for their side. And so you're right, I hadn't noticed that. It makes no sense that Talia just immediately is like, okay, great. And I think that's why they're just trying to show, I'm not sure why they couldn't give Talia and Cal's dad like, something else. I mean, they did give them some cute moments. I liked when Cal's dad was like, or when Talia was like, she's our daughter first, and then Cal's like, I don't like, that high pitched thing. I thought that was kind of cute.
No, yeah, definitely. Oh, sorry, you go ahead.
Well, I also felt like there was a parallel between the two moms. Like the two moms were kind of like at different points trying to protect their daughters in different ways. Like like with what you described with Kel's mom, not wanting her to do the hunt, and then you find out later that Juliet's mom also kind of, it sounds like she knew that she hadn't had her first kill, and she was kind of aware of all like the pressures on her, and in fact she could relate to it because of she had gone through a similar thing. And so yeah, like I thought they were like drawing some parallels between the two moms. But I agree, like it was kind of weird when Cal's mom flipped kind of suddenly or without.
That's a good point, Ro, about how they're showing both moms are being protective over their daughters.
Yeah, I definitely didn't think about it that way, and I now that you point that out, I do love that they did that. I think maybe the episode just needed like a little bit longer to flesh out some scenes.
More than an hour. Well, it's like 50 minutes, I think.
It's a 50-minute episode, but like let's maybe cut down on some of like the bloodlust weird music. Like let's cut back on the scene, and let's give a little more screen time to like. Am I getting booed? Am I getting booed off this podcast? You're like, no, we want more avid scenes. Take off your clothes.
Okay, so we get introduced to the airhead lady that Eleanor has picked out to try to help Juliet be her first kill. And the only reason I'm bringing this up is because I thought it was hilarious that at the end, she's in the cage at the vampire snake meeting thing, and she still is like, yeah, okay.
I'm so glad you brought that up, because can we just pay a little bit more to get a better actress? Like, what is happening?
But that was the point. Right. She was supposed to be like a silly person who doesn't know, like it's supposed to be like a silly human or whatever.
But
That was the point.
I don't think the show needs any more silliness to like break up any tension, because we haven't like brought up any like really fearful tension yet, right? Like
Mm.
that silly wave that she keeps on doing, like, no girl, stop. Like,
I think that's totally intentional on the producer or director's part, because
I know, get a new
through 1 and
director.
2 we have Smashly, and then in 3 we have Airhead Cage Girl.
Get a new
Who's
director.
Smashly?
How could you forget Smashly, Ro? Only the star of episode 2, the victim.
The one that died.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, what did you all think about the whole ritual ceremony? I thought it was so weird that like everyone kept leaving to have meetings.
We're like, can you pause this ceremony, please? I need
What
a
was-
side meeting.
What was the grandma doing while they were all off doing their meetings? Was she telling jokes to the crowd?
Just like schmoozing,
No, she was
schmoozing.
continuing the ceremony, and then like people would like go off to the side and have like their little side meeting, and then they'd be like, gotta get back. It's almost time. We're on.
I guess that's what a wedding is like, kind of.
Yeah, that's absolutely what your wedding was like. There was just like a lot of side meetings going on, and we're like, guys, stay focused.
Okay, I know they can apparently flashy green eyes people to make them forget, but what do you think's going on in the minds of the servers while they're hearing all this vampire talk? Like, did they hire a special monster aware catering service?
So
yeah.
They've specifically said that like Juliet's sister's ability is very rare, right? So
oh, I didn't catch that.
I believe they said that in like episode 1, when we first got introduced to this power, or maybe it was episode 2 after like.
Well, but it's Eleanor who does it, right?
No, it's not Eleanor who does. Is Eleanor the sister? Sorry.
Yeah, Eleanor flashy green eyes the cadaver guy.
Yeah, he does that to the diver guy, and then also to the person in the morgue. But I thought they specifically said that like her power was unique. Nobody else in the family has that type of power, so I don't think these vampires can rely on that ability since it is so special. Not everybody can do it.
Maybe they told the waiters it was like a role-playing game or something, like an RPG.
Like we're getting together and we're doing a live-action role-playing game.
Exactly. Yeah.
Please
don't mind the snakes and the blood wine.
I also kind of like the idea that there's like specifically a service for like weird cults. So like whenever a cult is having like a meeting, they call up a specific catering company. They're like, hello, yes, we're going to do like 7 blood sacrifices today. Can you please bring a cleaning crew? They're like, yes, of course, no problem.
Yeah, combining like fantastical things with like mundane things, like the cleanup crew and stuff is kind of funny.
I actually, you know what I would find way more interesting? A show about a cleaning crew that like
a catering cleaning crew after for vampires.
Well, for
Nika's waiting for the spinoff.
Yeah, exactly. This is the spinoff that we all need.
Okay, we finally meet Oliver in this episode. Very intriguing. I'm kind of pro Oliver. What do you guys think?
I am pro Oliver.
I just love the long hair.
I'm not sure. Loving the hair.
I was gonna say I hate the long hair. Somebody got it.
Wow.
Nika, you hate everything.
You hate everything you love.
Like you shouldn't have brought me on this podcast.
No, I love it.
It's good to have a contrarian.
I do think you might be the only person I bring on who hates the show. Not because I'm purposely looking for people who like it either.
You know what? Again, like I said, I went into the show really wanting to like it. And also, don't get me wrong, I'm gonna finish watching this show. But a lot of the decisions the director made just upset me. And this long hair gave me like werewolf from Twilight vibes, like Jacob with his long hair.
But that's because you're too young. You just don't know that, like, since like vampires done been having long hair since long before
Yeah.
Twilight.
No,
Yeah.
I do, but I don't like it. Like, these are old vampires, right? These are born vampires. Why don't these born vampires who have not lived hundreds and hundreds of years have style? Like, give me a ponytail. Like, give me a man bun. Give me, like, some side shavy thing, like, whatever that's called. Like, inject some style into it. He's just letting that hair, like, hang straight and free. Like, style it a little bit, zhuzh it up.
Oh God, I think the lesbian in me just could not disagree harder.
No.
Man buns? I don't know why, but it's fine when it's a lesbian bun. But a man bun,
It doesn't have to be a man bun, but like do something with it. Like just wash it at least. Like it needed some flow. It needed something. A little hair gel, a little pizzazz.
Nika being such a hater on the all of
I
her
know
long hair.
everybody's gonna come after me, please.
Nobody's gonna. No, this is what we're here for. This is
They're
making
like,
it
oh
interesting.
God, Brew, we hate her.
No,
just
great.
disable the comments for this video.
Never. I did not see ponytail monster babysitter guy turning on Cal. Like,
Yeah, that
Cal was
weird.
right to question who the bad guys are in this show.
Yeah. Who was that guy? Just a friend or something? Like,
No, he's the guild sent him to look over her.
Yeah,
that was really sketchy.
That was really sketchy. He gave me like very pedo vibes.
Yeah,
I'm glad she kicked him in the balls. He needed it.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
part.
like shouldn't this guild of hunters have people working for them that have like higher standards than this creepy douchebag? Like,
I think that's the show made that choice on purpose because of the statement Cal was saying earlier in the episode about how, like, you know, maybe we're the monsters to them.
Oh, absolutely.
Interesting.
I definitely liked it. This guy was not like
gross.
And even the mom earlier in the episode was questioning the authority of the guild, like with she was saying like, they're sending us in, we're not ready, and this and that. So like, yeah, maybe they're like trying to have us question the guild's intentions, or like, they're whether they're doing the right things, or
I know. I'm a little excited for like later in the season when they flesh out more of the guild politics, because we kind of got a little bit of that this episode where they talked about how I think they said they're knives or something like that. So I want to know more about what a promotion would look like. Who's calling the shots. I'm really hoping we get that from this season. But maybe that's just me. I really like the politics behind organizations.
No, I'm the same page. I can't wait.
Yeah.
No, I want to see how it all plays out too. Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
We're kind of being introduced to, like, I don't know if like they're all badasses, but they're also like not even, they don't even know why they're getting their orders. We like never see where they're coming from.
Like who's in charge? Who's in charge? Yeah. Who has the corner office?
We find out the person who's got the corner. We find out the
who
person who
has a nice window view, please.
Who's the CEO here? So it turns out Eleanor, Juliet's sister, is the one who snagged Cal because she's all, stop embarrassing me and kill this first kill already.
You know, Eleanor only cares about getting the power. She's like, fuck my mom. I'm next in line after her, and I don't care about, that the decisions you or my mom makes, as long as you don't embarrass me, because one day I'm going to get all the respect. And I kind of love it. Like, I don't like Eleanor, but I love that she has her vision, and that
you respect it. You respect her.
I respect
even if you don't agree.
I don't like her, but I respect her.
This was my favorite part, because when I was watching it with my wife, it is when she pointed out how hot Eleanor looked in this episode.
Oh yeah, in that dress.
That dress was stunning.
Yeah.
If I'm Cal, I'm like, okay. Eleanor, just right here, real quick.
Yeah, she's like, if I was Cal, I'd be like, which sister?
Yeah.
Like, maybe I
I
will
don't want to
kill
get
that one. And
I don't want to get in too much trouble, but like Eleanor. We get
I
that.
I don't think Ro's gonna argue with you on that. Ro's like, yeah, maybe the three of us
yeah,
have
they're like, hey,
party.
like,
We
let's
can
all
arrange
put
that.
down our daggers and just, or
Get out the
whatever those
fangs.
weapons are. Yeah.
We get that. Oh, go ahead, Ro. Or
Like
sorry,
I'm
Nika.
already tied up, so
It was kind of kinky. It was kind of kinky.
Right? I know.
I was gonna say before you go on, I don't know if you like made a note of this, but I'm curious what everybody thinks Oliver did that was so bad.
I did make
want
a
to
note of
hear
that,
what
yeah.
everybody's theory
Yeah.
is because we kind of skipped over that part.
I think he is like I think maybe he's the opposite and he like hasn't done his first kill and it's like he's like like he's not bad.
But he scared
Like I think it's gonna be the
the
opposite.
dodo sweetheart dad guy. Why would that scare the dad?
Like I think maybe because there was like some lies about him that spread or something like that. Or
I feel like if you're a DA, you've seen a lot more than a few lies.
What is DA?
He's a district attorney.
Yeah, the dad is.
Oh, right. That's his job. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. That was, I don't know why. That was just my thought that he was like the opposite of what they were implying. But I don't know why that would make sense. Yeah, I don't know how.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Like he found a way around getting his first kill. Maybe he just like feeds off of bunnies or
not bunnies.
He finds some cute fluffy kitties and like sucks
their kitties. Oh my god.
See, I'm on the other side. I think we've had so many misdirects at this point that I think this is exactly what they told us it was in the beginning, and he like did some kid killing, some serial killer psycho stuff, and like he was playing with squirrels. I think episode 1 they mentioned that that's serial killer stuff.
So I also thought about that, but then like what made me question it is Juliet is like so good and just loves people and life, and why would she trust her brother Oliver, who is a monster, if he truly was a monster?
Yeah, they seem to have like a good relationship, right?
Yeah. So to me, things like I think that like Oliver must be a good guy, and that's maybe why the family is scared, because maybe they're afraid the rest of the world will find out about Oliver.
Yeah, maybe it's like
good
that.
Guy. And maybe that's why Oliver even came back, because he knows Juliet is such a good person and he wants to protect and save Juliet.
Did you guys get like oh sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, did you guys get like we don't talk about Bruno vibes when they were talking about Oliver?
Yes.
All right. Me too.
Oh, you would get that with anything, Rohan. You listen to that song so much.
I know. That's right. Yeah.
Talk about Bruno.
That song was literally playing in my head while we were having this conversation about Oliver. So I'm so glad you said that out loud.
and maybe that's why I think that Oliver is actually kind of good, because that's how it is in the movie in Encanto. Like, Bruno's like the bad brother, but he's actually, but it's all just just misunderstanding, and he's actually just trying to do good and was just misunderstood. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting that both families have like sort of a brother with like a chip on their shoulders. Apollo hasn't gone full, not trusted by the family anymore, but he's like on his way there.
I'm excited to kind of see Apollo's arc throughout this show, because
that
like little hint in the last episode where Eleanor and Apollo were kind of flirty. I'm like, is Apollo gonna, go completely dark and be Eleanor's side bitch? Or
Ooh.
like, I don't,
Ooh.
maybe he's like, fuck the hunters. I'm gonna hang out with Eleanor because she's hot. Or maybe he goes undercover and is recording himself after he starts realizing that she has this ability to wipe minds, and he's playing her. I think that would be really interesting if they did
Ooh, that
something
would be
like that.
interesting.
Yeah. So I hope they do something with the Oliver Eleanor angle.
Me too.
I think Oliver will be like empathetic towards Cal's predicament at some point. Like I think he'll be on her side.
You
Maybe
think
we'll see.
so?
Okay.
That's, I mean, that's my
We'll see.
hypothesis.
I loved the slow-mo shot of the monster hunters running into the property. I thought that was a pretty cool shot.
Yeah,
I just love slow-mo action running shots. I was always into that.
yeah. As usual, the episode I thought ended on like a fun cliffhanger. So
Yeah, and Cal again chooses to protect Juliet. I was like, aw, she doesn't want her girlfriend to
yeah,
get noised to death.
I Speaking of noise to death, I kind of wish they would have. No, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna say anything bad.
No, say it.
No, I really am. I just wish they would have like talked about this noise device a little bit more when they were prepping, because I feel like we heard a lot about this weapon that was forged from the only hunter that has killed a legacy, and randomly they bring up
basically Mordor.
Yeah,
we
there's
like
some
randomly get these noise devices that we just didn't have like any sort of build up towards.
yeah, they're definitely doing a lot of like, they'll get the point.
Yes, they are. And I kind of get it, but also I need to be fed a little bit.
Yeah.
Like have some of those conversations to like build the lore around the hunter weaponry, right? I feel like that's
Yeah,
what enriches the world a little bit more than just
yeah.
randomly having weapons thrown out there. Like you could
We
use
saw
that
so much we spent so much time training back at the headquarters. They could have easily thrown a line in. Oh, well, we got these noise machines. They really fuck them up.
Yeah, because I want to know, like, how did they figure out that these noise machines were gonna fuck with vampires? What kind of went into figuring out what frequency? Like, who developed that? I think that would have been really cool.
Yeah,
But maybe
yeah.
I'm
I feel
just
like
like really into like the history and the politics and the like the world building. And I feel
yeah.
like what frustrates me about this show is they kind of skip over that world building and jump right into our weird vampire bloodlust scenes.
Yeah, I agree with
Uh,
you, Nika. Like they have really good character development, I think, and like you are really invested in the characters. But then, I feel like there's a lot of like some of the things about the world or like the that they've created are like a bit confusing at times, and a bit like what's going on, what is that? And so yeah, I feel like they could work on that a bit, and like even with like some of the stuff that they're intentionally leaving out to like build suspense and things like that, but there's still parts that are confusing, and it's hard to know what's going on or who to root for at times, and yeah, or to understand the context. Yeah. So.
Regarding what you said, Nika, about, like, well, both of you really enjoying the history, but I know you told me, Nika, that you are familiar with the author of the short story that this show is based off, V.B. Schwab. Did you, or you are, right? Or am I crazy?
Yes. I've
Okay.
read one of her books, and I
Okay.
feel like she is really good at world building.
Okay.
So that's why I was like a little shocked at why this show um wasn't like the world building wasn't as grand as her book was. But I haven't read the short story that this show was based off of. So after I'm done with this show, I kind of want to go and read it and see maybe if the short story is better at the world building aspect.
I
But
imagine so. I mean, I don't know how short it is, but
yeah,
there's just it's so much easier in like, when you're looking at books or whatever to include those details.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what are your overall thoughts? I know, Nika, you have found this series to be cringe. Where do you rank this episode 3 within the first 3 episodes?
I actually would rank this episode higher than the first two, mainly because we finally got some of those details filled in. So I think that's what boosted it up for me. So on a scale, are we doing scale one through 10? Are we, like,
Sure, let's 1
one
through 10 it.
fang to 10 fangs? Like,
Yes. How much fangs?
how many fangs do you give this show? Um, I would definitely have ranked the first 2 episodes kind of on the lower side, but I would say like maybe 6 fangs.
Okay, 6 fangs from Nika the hater. That's pretty good.
I know, like, I
Ro?
think the show has potential. I just think that they have a lot more to they need to do.
Okay. Ooh, quick sighting of Miso across the
Yeah.
screen there.
He saw the reflection of my watch and she was like, "Gotta go pounce."
Listeners, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or wherever you're listening, these episodes are also available on YouTube. So check that out for the video version. Ro, where would you rank episode 3?
Yeah, I also think it's the best out of the 3, and I'll probably give it a little higher rating. Like I think maybe like the first couple of episodes were like 6 or 7, and then maybe this one was 8. I enjoyed it, and it makes me want to keep on watching. It took a lot of restraint not to watch another episode. So yeah.
Yeah, that was hard.
Actually, yeah, I watched the episode again for the second time today, right before we did this, and there was like a half an hour between me finishing the episode and starting this, and I was like, oh man, I just really want to continue and figure out what's gonna happen, between like Juliet and Cal.
Yeah.
More
I think that's
specifically,
something that.
oh sorry,
No, go ahead, finish.
I was gonna say more specifically, I really want to know if the hunters end up killing a couple of the legacies, because
Of
they
course
Yeah.
you do, Nika.
yeah, they made a huge deal about legacies being really difficult to kill, and so I want to know if it's possible for them, they're able to accomplish that. But then also I really like shows and books and just like media that has consequences, where like characters actually die and you actually kind of fear for a character, because it makes it more interesting. So like, what if the dad dies?
No, what? No,
He
we're
is
not
the
doing
most
that.
expendable, I feel like.
He's the most
No.
expendable. But like,
No.
if the dad dies, then that would kind of create a lot more tension. Maybe the legacies would well, the dad's not even a legacy, so maybe they wouldn't give a shit. But like, what if
Oh, you meant Juliet's dad. Oh,
yeah,
I was losing my mind.
oh, I'm sorry. No, yeah,
Yeah.
what if Juliet's dad dies?
Yeah.
Because then you have the legacies maybe going, oh, these hunters,
Yeah, he can die.
yeah, maybe these hunters like actually are a threat. Maybe we need to band together and revolt against them.
Also opens Margot up for a possible Talia hookup.
Yes.
Who's Margot?
The Margot is Eleanor and Juliet's mom.
Oh yeah.
And
The
Talia's Cal's mom.
moms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing that I thought that you said that was interesting, Nika, is about how you always want to go on to the next episode. This series has very much purposefully, created the map of these shows so that like it's always some sort of a cliffhanger, and like it's a good cliffhanger because we're all,
Yeah.
even Nika, who you are cringing constantly, you're like, but I gotta finish it. I was
gotta
hard for me
finish
to
the show. Look,
Yeah.
I wouldn't put too much value into that. I consume too much media. I binge watch too many shows. I spend way too much time doing this. I really need a life. Is
Oh,
what it boils down to.
Nika,
Okay,
you're like the
you're-
most social person I know.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, dude.
What any
Yeah,
other
so-
thoughts you guys have before we've been here doing this for a hot minute? We're gonna wrap it up. Any thoughts on episode 3 or on the series?
Yeah, can I read you one line that I wrote down?
Yes, please
Our
do.
love is deeper than Edward and Bella's. If I were a zombie, I would never do at your, or I would never. I think I messed up. Eat your brain. I would just need your heart. Need your heart.
Is that a Nika original line or?
No, that's the intro song to the show.
Oh, those are the lyrics to the intro song. That's so funny, actually.
Our love is
Okay.
deeper than Edward and Bella's. I was like, oh god, this is
Okay,
I'm so glad you caught that.
I had not like actually.
What
paid
an Easter egg.
So that's interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then I know we
That is a bit cringy.
yes, and then I know we've already talked about it, but you know, like the very first Adam and Eve scene. After she wakes up, there's like a little bit of sparkle, and I'm like, yes, the throwback to the Edward and Bella in the intro song.
Yeah.
I think they're trying too hard to differentiate themselves from the disaster that was Twilight.
Yeah, you can't tell me you thought the Twilight movies were less cringe than First Kill.
I thought the acting was better in the Twilight.
What? I love Kristen Stewart, and I thought she was terrible.
No, she was terrible, but I don't think the acting in this is great.
Really? I think it's all pretty good. I was a little suspect on Juliet in the first episode, but Juliet, I've even come around to Juliet. Yeah. Really, the airhead girl was the worst, as you pointed out, and I think the director was back there going, "Just higher, more
waves, more waves."
Yeah, lots of waves.
I thought it was like fun though. Like I don't know, it didn't bother me that much that it was like overacted.
No, you know what? It didn't bother me enough to stop. Definitely shows have been so bad that I've had to stop. But yeah, comparatively, I thought the acting in Twilight was better, but not to say that was fantastic acting. You're right. Kristen Stewart has gone off to do better acting. So as Robert Patterson, that wasn't their like best work by any means.
I think like one thing that makes the show different is like that movie was like trying to be so serious and like, you know, and it was like
terrible.
That was kind of annoying. But this show is like not trying to be as serious. It's like there is like humor injected in it all over the place, and so it's like it's a little bit more campy and things like that.
I
so
think
it's
that's
like
the point I was trying
that's what
to
makes
make
the
at the beginning.
Acting more tolerable. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like Nika, and I'm so glad that you've said all of it because this has been so fun. You are kind of hating on them for something they're like purposefully doing, which is you're right. It's you're right. But yeah, they're not going for you mentioned you hope we see a lot of not a loss but like some deaths, and I was like, they're not going to Game of Thrones
like
us.
Yeah, right. It's not going to be like a red wedding situation.
Yeah. What if they do have a red wedding situation and we're all just like,
yeah.
What if episode 3 is the turning point? Episode 4, they get more serious, they get less campy. Everybody in that cold scene is dead.
Then you will be thrilled.
I know. I'll be like, yes, consequences.
The rest of the fan base will be in mourning, and they'll be like, I can't believe they did this to us again already. Get the Killing Eve.
The fan base will get their pitchforks, and they're going to come after me.Ey're going to be like,
they're going to blame you. They're going to be like,
yeah, you manifested
it. All right. Well, I think that covers episode 3. Thank you both for coming on and giving me your thoughts and opinions. I really enjoyed this. I gotta scour the world for another hater because I think you're the only one. But I enjoyed it.
Yes, this is like on Netflix's top 10, which I'm like, how?
It's popular.
Yeah,
it's doing well.
I'm glad like a lesbian vampire show is on Netflix's top 10. I think we need like more of them.
You know what? For all the hate that I've given the show, it's really refreshing to see like a lesbian couple on Netflix's top 10. I feel like we have a lot of good gay representation or LGBTQ representation, but it's mostly like men, right? So we just had Heartstoppers, which was a fantastic show. It was if you haven't seen it, you have to. We see that on Netflix's top 10. Love Victor, season 3 just came out. That one's also really popular.
Mhm.
I feel like in both shows they had lesbian representation, but those fell into like the back plots, the side characters. So it's really nice seeing a lesbian couple that's taking front and center stage
Yeah.
in a teen show.
Oh, couldn't agree more. This is great representation. We've got an interracial lesbian couple, and we've got, these really cool monster hunters in this, like, badass in Calliope. And then, like the best, Ben, and he is gay, and like everything is very progressive. And also, I was talking about this with Aaron in the last recap I did. It's not a thing. It's very, very queer, and like moving on.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So
They
that's
don't
really
make
cool.
a big deal about it, which is what I love because it gets really annoying. We have a lot of
Yeah.
coming out stories, which they're cute. I love them, but it's always such a big deal. And I know that's everybody, like a lot of people's stories, but I love seeing a show where it isn't a big deal. And we don't have to discuss it. It was just like, yeah, we tried dating. We both realized that we were into the same sex and not each other. And we moved on and we're still really good friends.
Yeah, that was so quick. I literally forgot about that part until you mentioned it. You're right.
Yeah.
They gave us like a snippet of a backstory, and it wasn't a big deal, and I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the gayness is not the conflict in the show. It's the vampires versus hunters and the family dynamics and stuff like that. So it's fun. It's great. I
Oh
love it.
yeah, I know. I love that. Like, and I don't imagine the way the show's been going. I don't imagine that's going to be an issue, and even later on, right? Where like the parents are going to be like, "Oh, but you can't love her because she's a lady." No, they're going to be like, "You can't love her because she wants to kill you."
Exactly.
I'm out of
Yeah.
it. That part's
All right. Well, thank you two for coming on. It has been a lot of fun. And make sure, listeners, that you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you are rating and you're subscribing to wherever you listen to podcasts. This is LesPod, and I will be back to recap episode 4 with you.